interestingly, I guess the question to ask here is the aches and tension in our necks all physical? And I think we'd find the answer to that is no. We have definitely got a lot on our plates at the moment. So I think the way to approach looking after your neck, especially when you've got some tension there, is to go in gently, to go in tenderly, and really be soft with yourself, your thoughts, especially. And sometimes we are used to feeling tension in the body and being quite coarse with it. So like massage ourselves deeply, and it could actually cause more tension, I think, especially if we're going in with a mental attitude that's not conducive to releasing the tension. Yeah. So as we do this practice today, I want you to be tender with yourselves. I want you to practice on a level that's probably quite low down on the effort chart, just to see if it changes anything for you, if some of that tension releases. And we've got a couple of ways that we're going to work with that tension. We're going to manipulate which way we move the head and the neck, because I think if you really can understand where the tension is, when we have tension in the neck, quite often it just feels overall around everywhere full of tension. But when we investigate, we tend to see particular muscles or particular areas of the neck and shoulders that, are the culprits. Yeah. And that just allows us to get into those in a slightly different way. And I would say also that if we have long-term tension in the neck and shoulders, it moves, it travels, it tends to express itself in other areas of the body, maybe down the spine, in between your shoulder blades. So it starts to involve the back. And of course, we've got upper back, middle back, lower back. Yeah, so yeah, I just think that we need to be a bit more considered how we practice with this. And let's hope this practice today kind of helps us bring some insights towards us, but also to obviously release tension. I'd really like that too. But I think see it as an investigation. Yeah, just a gentle investigation. Okay, so we're going to start laying down to begin with. I want us to get very present for our practice. So if you would like something underneath your head for this bit, that's fine. We're going to be on our backs, find our breath. I like us to find our breath, first of all. So when you come down and settle into many bones on the ground, you might want to have your legs straight. You might prefer to have your knees bent, and you could have your feet quite a distance apart here, maybe the knees just knocking together. You may even like soles of the feet touching, or crossed-legged, knees out to the side. Oh, we've got so many options. So choose which suits your body this morning. What does your body need this morning? And really do settle and arrive into your body by putting it in a comfortable position. That will be easier. But of course, we have life attached to this body. So yeah, obviously we need time to untether ourselves from what's going on in our lives. So really drop the weight of the world if you can and just be here. That's probably the best advice I can give you, is to just be with your body, be with your breath. Just let these next few, however many minutes that we have connecting with ourselves, be your way of really finding a little bit of peace and comfort, relaxation, connection. So we're inviting full body connection, not just physical, but also emotional and every other part of you. So use your breath to come in to your quiet space. Each in-breath draws you deeper into yourself. And each out-breath, just letting worries, tension, anxiety, frustration, all of that to just go. And then we're left with the breath, the body, okay, in a moment we're going to move. I'm just letting you settle for a bit. There's not many opportunities during your day to have this experience with yourself, so it's really precious. Enjoy each breath. And with one eye on your breathing like this, and one eye on your movement of your breath, is really soothing for your nervous system. Even if the moment is fleeting, it still does precious work on the inside. Okay, we're going to get ready. 2 more breaths. Breathe in. Slowly release the breath. And then again. Slow breath in. Deep inside. And from there, release what doesn't serve you and keep what does. And then both feet on the ground, bringing the right knee towards you, towards the armpit, but definitely keeping the back of the pelvis on the ground, hands around that knee, and we can just do small circles to begin with. And we're just connecting with the movement here into the hip, into the lower back, and then around the other way. Okay, and then release the right foot to the ground. We'll do the same with the left. But when you're circling this time, I'd like you to also note that you are connecting with yourself from a different perspective how you would during your day. So you've arrived into your practice. Change your direction. And then release the left foot to the ground. Right leg coming towards you, hands around the back of the thigh. What we're going to do is take a bent knee up into the air and just gently press that right leg into the palm of both hands, creating a little bit of work in the muscles of your legs. We're going to extend the left leg, and also with a soft knee though, work through the muscles of the left leg as well. Back to your breath. Reconnection. Every time you take an inhale, and then bend your right knee, foot on the ground, and we'll change legs. This time that left leg in the air with a bent knee, back of the pelvis down, pressing into the palm of the hands. Have a breath, and it's that reminder to go deep into your body, deep inside where your presence is. Right leg can straighten, softness in your knee, but the leg is working on the right side as well. Okay, left foot to the ground. Back to the right leg, up into the air again, hands around the back of the thigh. This time, I'd like you to notice what you're doing with your neck and your shoulders when you're doing this. Can you find kindness and softness there? This is the working from a tender place, kinder. Okay, so same things happen with the right leg. Back of the pelvis down, extend the left leg, but can you be soft around your shoulders and the sides of your neck? You know, some of these tensions that we hold, they're habitual, and it's not until we notice can we change them. And that's what we're doing here, trying to notice. Is it necessary? If there's any tension there, is it necessary? You could just wriggle your shoulders a little bit, turn your head side to side, and just rewrite that story a little bit. Bend the left knee, foot on the ground, right foot down, change your legs. Pelvis on the left side down. You're pressing the leg into the hands and then straightening your right leg. And it might be here that you tense up. I mean, this isn't, you know, a great deal of effort at all. So does it require tension in the shoulders and the sides of your neck? Maybe it's your jaw as well and the back of the head. Okay, bend the right knee, left foot on the ground, and we're going to roll to one side and we'll come up. So we might want something low level to sit on. Just to help the position of your spine. That's the purpose of sitting on something, to allow the lower back to be in a neutral position. So we don't want to be falling backwards, neither do we want to be poking forwards with the chest. So yeah, just connect again with those shoulders and the neck. And lots of little movements are really good to just find that neutral position, yeah. And I'd like us to also take a look at where we are in a forwards and backwards position, because if we are quite forwards or even backwards, other places like the neck, the side of the neck, could be sort of holding us, yeah. So from here, we're going to just do some neck rotations, yeah, like this. rolling around. Now, I want you to think of working with the vertebra at the very top of the neck. So it's like a really small plate, that you are moving on. And then we'll increase it. So we want to start tiny, because you're going to go from like this side plate size to a dinner plate size. So we want to start small. Stay in the small range and then change direction. And as you're doing this, you might be like, oh, okay. So when I go this way, the tension's there. It's not there the other way. So we start picking out the detail, yeah? All right, change. Okay, now we're going to do dinner plate size. So bigger. And also, what you might notice is small movements are okay, larger movements not so okay for you, yeah? All of this info we're picking out. All right, change. And of course, if you're like me, there's some very strange crunching noises going on, which is all perfectly normal. Obviously, pain is the thing that we want to be careful of when we do this. All right, so start reducing that size, and then just reset where you put your head on top of your spine. So it wants to balance there really without you having to hold it. There will be a particular position, and obviously we're all different because the shapes of our heads are different, yeah, and the sizes. But just check in. Would it help you to have your chin down a little bit? Would it help you to have your head back a little bit? So we're searching for the sides of the neck to be comfortable, yeah? The sides of the neck to be almost switched off, like they haven't got a job to do. When we align things correctly, these muscles have less to do. And that's what we're trying to notice on ourselves. So just, it's micro movements. This is useful for you to find out, because when you do have tension, you can't actually, if you're maybe in a meeting or amongst people or whatever, busy, that you can't do a load of yoga poses, but you can reposition, yeah? Reposition the head and neck. Just find that optimum place. So just to give you some insights, what I notice when I find the optimum place, not only do the sides of my neck feel comfortable, also just further down, slightly between my shoulder blades, switches off. And I wasn't really aware of that until I, seeked the information out. So slightly below my neck, my cervical vertebra, obviously was doing some kind of holding, yeah. So that's just an easy adjustment, really easy adjustment to do, yeah. So keep that in mind. That's a little mobile tool to have in your back pocket whenever you need it. Okay, so fingertips on top of your shoulders, everybody. We're going to start bringing in some shoulder work, because obviously shoulders connected to the neck. We need to help those shoulders as well. So bring your elbows together, yeah, squeeze them together, and then release them apart. So notice there's a lot going on with this. There's a lot of muscles really doing some work to let those elbows touch. Yeah, intricate little muscles deep within the shoulder joints. We take them for granted, I must say. All right, so now we're going to bring movement. So bring them together, lift them in the air, take them round the back, then down. Same thing. We'll go slowly, and it might feel slightly jagged, not smooth to begin with. There might be some clonks. in certain ranges. So if you feel there's a lot of muscle work going on here, that's because there is. Okay. Last one this way. And then release those hands down. Oh, the arms get incredibly heavy when we do that. So it's quite nice to just release like this. Okay, pause for a moment. I want you to reset head and neck the way you found useful just a moment ago, hopefully. And that awareness of knowing, literally from a physical sense, knowing that muscles have gone from being on, or at least awake, to slightly offline, is incredible awareness. That's an embodied, what we call an embodied practice, and just so useful for releasing tension and anxiety in the body. And we're only looking at one area currently, yeah. So this is available to you all throughout your body, just to say. So hopefully you've reset. Fingertips on shoulders, elbows together. So let's go straight into the movement part. Now we're going down, backwards, upwards, okay? And then forwards. Big circle the other way, nice and slow. Different muscles working in a different way. It feels different. And also same muscles working in a different way. That's it, breathing in perhaps as the elbows lift and down and out as the elbows go down. So I'm noticing warmth, which is clearly blood circulation and the movement of the muscles. And that will be a good thing. That will increase mobility. There's obviously fluid in the joints as well. That all really helps. This time. Breathe out, let that go. Release the arms, heavy arms. Yeah, just let them shake out a little bit. Do your reset. Okay. So just one side, doesn't matter which. Fingertips again onto the shoulder. And what we're going to do is use the other hand to slightly assist ourselves here. So I'm thinking of the elbow going in the air directly up. I'm wanting us to find a bit of space underneath the shoulder blade, and that will also include the side of your body. So with a gentle invitation of a lift, the shoulder blade, the shoulder itself, the arm. Notice how it involves your neck when you do this. Yeah. And as you get to your peak, can you soften there? Can you relax into this a little bit? That's not about going limp. It's just about being a bit less active, not needing to work this so much. And then release. Again, some kind of movement. Okay, other side. Fingertips start on the shoulder. Let the elbow lift up. So find that range without any assistance with the hand. First of all, it's quite interesting for you to note how much you really get from using the other hand. And it's only a gentle lift. It's not like, somebody's really pulling on your elbow. It's just amazing to find that extra space within yourself. Breathe. And then soften. So the thing I've noticed is the other side, the side in the neck is, it wants to be on mine a bit more than this side. And then release and some kind of movement to kind of let those muscles find softness, tenderness, yeah, relaxation. So what we're doing here is we are actually working some of these muscles around the side of the neck and across the tops of the shoulders as well. But notice how we're not doing them in a very physical manner. It's like through observation and putting those muscles in a slightly different position than perhaps how we would normally do some of this work. Same thing for what we're going to do next. So you can have your legs out in front. You're going to be on your sit bones, or you could have your legs crossed. It's really up to you. But fingertips are going to be behind you, either forwards. That means that these shoulders, the front of the shoulder will roll forwards a little bit. It could be fingertips out to the side. That's sort of like the happy medium, I think. Or the fingertips facing a bit more behind you. And when that happens, it really opens across the front here and it sends the shoulders back. But at the same time, it brings the shoulder blades together a little bit. But what we're trying to do here is not like aggressively squeeze the shoulder blades together, just through our positioning of our hands, fingertips, just walks them nearer one another, yeah? And the nice thing about that is we still have great access to the spine and the front of the chest is open, yeah? So we have the opportunity to be very present in this, I think, as opposed to going with a tight, strong pose. Elbows are bent here, okay? We're going to lift up as much as we can. Let the sides of your neck get long here. Chin lifts a little bit. And then I want you to turn your head left and right, but really slowly and in different positions. And you'll find all sorts of areas here through the side of the neck. It might even go around the neck a bit more towards the back. Keep the lift as much as you can. Shoulder blades just kind of kissing one another there on the back. They're like having a quiet little hug. But the neck is just all those muscles coming on, going off. Okay, and then release. Just bring the soles of the feet together. And we'll just have a little forward bend, forward fold here. So from right on the tips of your sit bones, you're folding forwards here. Bless you. And yeah, gentle forwards motion. Just allowing those inner thighs to wake up a little bit. We're going to need them in a moment. Okay, so for now, last real big focus on the neck. Sitting position again, legs out in front, cross-legged, whichever. One arm, doesn't matter which, because you'll do the other one. Elbow is bent, fingertips coming towards you. Okay, so you really want to get a bend in the wrist here as much as you can. So I'm going to say on an exhale, press away, but this is not limp. This is like you're pushing a wall away. Okay, so just start to breathe in, and when you breathe out, feel things in that arm, yeah? And we'll do 4 of these. In to release, and then exhale, press away. All right, and then this 5th one, go halfway, all right? Palm of the hand is flattish, fingertips coming towards you. You've got a bit of pressure going on there, and you're going to tilt the opposite ear to the opposite shoulder, so you're tilting away from this arm. And you might notice things. Again, you can turn your chin down, turn your chin up. If the side of the neck for you is not where the tension is, find it. It could be further around the back, going down to the trapezius, or it could be a bit more here towards the front, the sternocleidomastoid mastoid. That's a difficult one for me to say. That's why we call it SMC, much easier. So keep breathing. It's quite intense. Okay, breath in, lift the head. Oh, yes. And then we release whatever you need to do. What we're connecting with there is definitely some of the fascia in the arm. This is why it's nice to give it a rub. But also some of the nerves, the sheaths of your nerves. That's why that feels quite, it's a different feeling to a muscle working. And you probably connected with that. Okay, other side. Bent elbow, fingertips towards you. Pressure, yeah? Breathe out. I notice on this side, underneath my shoulder blade is having to do quite a bit of work. This side feels very different to this one. You might have the same, yeah? These are the things you're looking out for. Okay, so this next one, this fifth one, halfway. Okay, get ready. Ear tilts. Oh, yes. So there's more tension on this side for me. This ear, the opposite ear, tilting towards the other shoulder. Breathe. And again, that out breath, that's your invitation to soften into those sensations and go with the feeling, because you might notice you release something, and then if you slightly tilt, you've gone somewhere else into where the tension is. And you're tracking it. You're going with it. You're tracking it. Oh, one more breath if we can. Good work, everybody. Oh, release. Oh, just some kind of wiggle. This is like, I see this as kind of like throwing out whatever that was, that tension. Okay, we're going to come on to hands and knees now. So obviously, if you need to pad your knees, please do. So knees hip distance apart, hands slightly forwards of those shoulders. So the bend in your wrist is not directly under the shoulder. I like it slightly forwards. So that these arm bones, the way they go into the shoulder joint, is just much nicer. It doesn't put tension into the joint. And bearing in mind, we've done some work there. We don't want to add any. Okay, so both feet, lift them and send them, let's say to the right, take them to the right. What we're going to do is look towards the feet over here on the right, but we're going to consider the right side of the neck. So first of all, get length in your spine, lengthen your neck, and keep that as you turn and look towards your right toes. So come back for an inhale. Maybe you readjust, breathe out, exhale. So hopefully no tension in the side of the neck, no tension in the shoulder. And this will be our final one. Readjust, breathe out. When the head comes back, bring the feet back. Maybe wriggle your shoulders and take your feet to the left. Maybe give it a go without lengthening your neck and turn and look at your feet. It's a completely different sensation. This is why we lengthen and then turn. We'll do 4 more. Breath in. Breathe out. Keep that length, and every time you come back, you can always
go back to it, find it again. Okay, back to center. Wriggle around a little bit. Okay, so we're going to keep the shoulders, the back, the pelvis, everything really still here. We're just going to move the head and neck, okay? So it'll be interesting for you if other areas of your body wants to come and play. So first of all, drop your chin towards your chest. Keep that back nice and flat, and then lift the chin. Don't drop the spine. So this is like cat and cow without the spine, just the neck. So breathe in as you lift chin and breathe out as you take it towards you. It's funny doing it without the spine involved. And then to the center, to the middle, and then you're going to turn your head to the right, and then you're going to turn your head to the left. Spine stays still. So when you turn your head to the right side muscles of your neck shrink. They're working, they contract towards one another. Same thing as you go the other side, but the left muscles are working. So if you're really aware, and you can feel here a big difference between one side and the other. Those muscles might be the one taking the load a lot of the time. Okay, back to center. Maybe a little wriggle, maybe just release those arms and hands. Yeah, if wrists feel it, whichever you want to do. We're going to go back and do much more with the neck. So we're actually going to release the neck itself down and then up. So that will invite between your shoulder blades to work. Let's see if you sense this. Same position with the hands, knees. Okay, so shoulders are not going to move, back's not going to move, pelvis isn't going to move. So think of this as like chicken neck, that movement chickens do, yeah? So neck down and then neck up, okay? Neck down and neck up. It's a funny position, but we really connect with all of those muscles around the neck. Tops of the shoulders, maybe even into that upper back area. 2 more. Okay. And then get to neutral, and here just a couple of cat and cow movements because your body probably really desires it. Breath in again. Nice long length to your spine. Tail goes down. Trickle up the spine to the back of the neck. And 2 more. If you feel like getting a long spine here, which we're going to do in a moment, just go back into like a child's pose and move through these poses. Okay, hands and knees still. So we're going to bring left knee to the outside of the right knee. Okay, so you're crossing everything over. Now you could move this left leg further away from you. We're going to lean back, but extend the right arm forwards. So the area we're trying to get in here, everybody, is just underneath the shoulder blade. So it's more of this work that we did earlier. Yeah, and it goes into the armpit, around underneath the shoulder blade, and down a bit. Okay, so you're reaching away from you as you do this. So this work here in your legs and hips is not so important, but definitely that right arm reaching away, and just pause there for a moment, breathe. You could even let the head settle on the ground whilst you really connect with some of the muscles there. And then back you come. Releasing that left knee back, right knee behind. So it's your left arm reaching forwards here. And it's a very interesting process. For me, the feeling doesn't stay static. It's constantly moving. The more I'm putting my attention on it, I can really track where it's going. Back up for an inhale. Release those legs. Other side. And we'll come up. Last time on this side. Take your time. Maybe even play with turning that left arm a little bit. Bring the palm off the floor, let it face towards that midline. And up you come. Just take a seat for a moment, just to let everything settle. Any movement you feel you want to do, then just, yeah, complete that. Okay.